Welcome to our Scott Hall career retrospective. We're all three of us are paying homage to the great man who unfortunately passed away. One of the greatest to latest move of the week. Lissy, you correctly pointed us towards WrestleMania 10 for the ladder match. Nothing's quite going to match that, but Bash at the Beach 96 was when the Outsiders became a thing. The NWO took over professional wrestling. What do you remember of this time in your fandom?
My fandom. Well, first, I know we talked about the confusion because we only knew him as Razor Ramon. So getting used to him being Scott Hall was a little bit of an adjustment, but he still had that same aura about him, that same vibe, just as cool. Never didn't have a toothpick in his mouth, which we love. So some of those did transfer. Well, I think those were his true character traits anyway, but they transferred over to WCW. It really shook things up because when you think about WCW pre the Outsiders, it was a weird time in the mid 90s there. So going into this point of, edginess, NWO was forming, we know Hulk Hogan's going to do his turn. Just a really pivotal point in wrestling, just period.
Yeah, like I said, they kind of didn't know if it was him or his character. I'm pretty sure WWF sued WCW at the time, saying the character that he was portraying was that coined and intellectual property of WWF. So that's a story for another time. But JJ, you were probably too young, and we struggled to get WCW out here in the UK. You had to get it on once the Cartoon Network had gone off the air. You get it on TNT Fridays at 9. Real ones know. Have you gone back and looked at any of this era at all? Because again, this is probably a little bit before our peak time anyway.
Yeah, I mean, only stuff that we've looked through on the pod and on YouTube. So yeah, not a lot. I probably tuned in to a few like Nitros when they had them on Channel 5 around like 2000, 2001. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was Nitro they had on there. But yeah, never got into it. And I mean, that era wasn't very good and they ended up going down anyway. And then to be fair, it's the same with Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. I know who he is, but I don't know about his career. So I'm looking forward to learning more about him.
It's Cheltenham week. It's Cheltenham week, and John Jacobs is flogging a dead horse at this point. Right, we're going to get this show on the road. It's Bash at the Beach in 1996, 7th of July, I believe. Was this from Orlando? I'm pretty sure it's from Orlando. Definitely in Florida.
Somewhere warm.
Somewhere warm. Your neck of the woods, Lissy. I'm sure they sell oranges there. If you're watching it on the network, like JJ and I, because we don't live in yours land, episode/Bash at the Beach, you know the digits, 1996. Lissy, for those on the Peacock, I'm sure there'll be seasons involved.
Yes, Peacock, Bash at the Beach, season 3.
Season 3, and we're going to click play in 3.
Did we say the timestamp?
Oh, thank you.
2 hours, 14 minutes, 00.
2 hours, 14 minutes, 00 for John and your esteemed viewers. And we'll click play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Ooh.
And we have Michael Buffer looking as only you can look.
I love Michael Buffer.
Great job.
This was literally like, you guys know, like for us, WCW was much more mature content at the time because we were, probably 7, 8 years old at this time. Bash at the Beach, I don't know if it's because it had they always had a pool around the stage. If you remember, this was the coolest pay-per-view concept for me outside of WrestleMania, of course.
And I thought Eric Bischoff stressed he was always keen, and Dusty helped that as well. Dusty brought a lot of these in the mid-90s, tentpole events or just things that were different. So there's Super Brawl, Uncensored, World War III, where there was 3 rings in the big battle royal, Bash at the Beach, just stuff where it was each one had their own unique identity. And to be fair, WWF did that themselves in the 90s. That's what the King of the Ring, and there's Backlash and whatever, and it's kind of been lost now. I think just that almost individualistic.
Things had a theme. Remember, there was a theme involved.
Everyone had its own different set for each one.
Right.
Love
it's
that.
One of the things that we said on the Revolution show that we did when we were doing the watch along. That's the word I'm looking for. Watch along. Like they actually had like a good set that differentiated things from
Sandcastles.
You know, a random Dynamite or Rampage. It actually looked different and memorable.
Look at this in terms of. By the way, just in terms of the detail here, as the Titantron, or what it was, Titantron, because it's Titan Towers, the video package, it's just them making appearances. By the way, Scott Hall is ripped here in '96. But there's no like official video package because they're outsiders. So it's just footage of them invading the show, which makes sense. This was like this was as close you get as a supposed invasion angle as we'd seen at the time. Always got a couple of spare toothpicks behind the ear because you never know when.
Have to.
I hate this Big Sexy's gay at this point. He was far too cool to be wearing tassels at this stage.
The tassels. He loved him some tassels.
I'm happy Scott to be there.
He's just so captivating.
He is.
Just takes up the screen.
Can we also just, for a second, he was so good looking too. Like just very, like.
Machismo.
Yes.
There you go. Look at the name, the Hostile Takeover match.
Wow.
And they built this up for
what
about
a stimulation.
They built this up for about 4 or 5 weeks where who's the third man? Which is why Mean Gene's come down. He's been doing interviews all night and plugging it on his on the hotline.
1-900.
Saying he's got good info here.
Did you guys ever call the hotline? They used to charge like $5 a minute.
There was one where you could text one for like football transfers, and I ended up losing like 20 quid in about a day doing that stuff. Gene was so good, by the way.
I love him. See, Kevin Nash is wearing my favorite hairstyle today, guys.
The Billy Gunn special. Chico.
Let's go, Chico.
Scott Hall was feeling it here, by the way.
He was what?
He was feeling it.
Oh, big time.
By the way, Dusty was brilliant on commentary the entire night because he just sells the disgust of it. Hey, well, they can do whatever they want, Daddy. Because when you get Stinger and the Macho Man and the total package, they'll find out what's up.
Such a beautiful voice.
Who, Gene or Dusty?
Dusty.
Oh.
So
I mean, you've got to be that charismatic to get away with such a lisp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do like this twist of like for the Hostile Takeover match, nobody gets their official fancy entrance. We'll see the rare occasion of Lex Luger wearing face paint as well, which he really doesn't do. Sting was the guy at this point as well.
The guy.
Oh yeah.
I posted a video on the Wrestling 80s 90s feed in the week, which was Sting finally fighting up for WCW Uncensored, which is 25 years to this week, and the crowd goes ballistic. It's like one of them pops where you forget the crowd noise from like this era of wrestling, 96, 97, 98. Insane. Look at all the signs as well. But yeah, these are supposed to be the super good guys. Macho Man's just been feuding with Flair, and he's been teaming with Hulk Hogan. Lex returned to the company in September. Sting's the guy, but it's the crowd's pretty split.
WCW.
Yeah,
right.
Sting was the franchise.
Yeah.
These three guys are all way too shiny for me. Like, how much oil is on those bodies right now?
They did not slack on the oil before they came out.
Outrageous. I mean, how can you even do a move on them? They're just going to slip right off.
I can't not see Kevin Nash's hair now that Lissy spotted it. It's the I don't have time to dry my hair look. So I get from in there.
That's
Just,
my
can you ask me a
favorite
clip,
look.
please? I'll do it later.
Yes, that's my
Billy Gunn obviously setting trends way before his time.
favorite.
Thinking with a bit, can you believe as well? This was 26 years ago, and that man there was doing splashes through a table just last week.
Jeff
At
Hardy.
He's probably
62
going to do
years
some
young.
more. You see, he's going to be tagging with Darby and the Hardys next week. So TBD. Let's see what extreme stuff is going to happen.
The one, but I mean, I've got no interest in Jeff Hardy in NW, but God, it means we get more Matt Hardy. Oh,
I hate you so much
I
because
don't care. It's not 1999 anymore. Move on, lads.
okay.
Enjoy what you enjoy, Jack. Enjoy what you enjoy, buddy.
I don't enjoy anything, John.
I know.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't enjoy anything in the present, outside of maybe Danielson and Regal. Now that's it.
FTR. Give him FTR.
Yeah, he likes them.
I don't realize we were just talking exclusively about wrestling. I was like, I enjoy nothing.
Like nothing.
People
Misery.
say I'm the harsh critic.
You're actually quite chirpy. You're just very dry. I think your humour gets lost perhaps internationally.
I'm just trying to pop myself. That's all. I don't really care about you bitches watching.
I'm pretty sure that's the stuff I say on Instagram when people say, your memes are funny. Make me laugh. Hey, what's a boot? What do you mean put in the boot of the car? Hey, you, fuck off. You know what it means?
Language.
What's a boot? Why are you talking like a boot? Hey, no context slides up to 26,000 as well, so thanks for following.
And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Luger's out. There you go. Down to 2 for 2.
This was the era as well where Savage had, he's like, I'd say going bald or worse than me, but he's grown his hair out and that just the end bits and he's combing it and stretching out really long. But so it's kind of like wifty.
Woofty.
But get Nash on a shoot and he says, "Oh man, we just like pull his hair and just tray. Oh, that's 3 more gone, Randy."
I mean, our boy Hogan wasn't doing anything much different.
Don't say our boy. Your boy. He's not my boy.
I was never really Hulkamaniac. I was 93. I was 5. I was all in Brett. By the way, the one thing that would make me smile when Brett comes back and manages FTR next month.
Are you okay?
It's happening, isn't it? It's happening.
It's happening. They don't plant seeds like that unless, I mean, think about it as well. The Young Bucks, look at their style. Everything's based on the Rockers. There is going to be a Young Bucks versus FTR with Brett match.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when Shawn Michaels is future endeavored, he can show up and manage the Young Bucks. Oh.
Tony Khan will never hire HBK. Ever.
First of all, he will never be future endeavored. Okay.
What about just his lazy eye? He may get binned. Shawn can stay. The eye goes.
Will you stop?
Anyway, we're down to speaking of Bobby. Bobby nearly releases like a massive spoiler at the end. When somebody, whose side is he on? What are you talking about?
Right.
And he got a lot of heat with Eric, and he said like they didn't tell him, nobody knew. But Heenan says like, I've been crappied on Hogan for 10 years. I was just saying in character.
Well, things are even. Just slap the taste out of his mouth.
If I was about to have a fight with someone with lime green boots, yeah, I'd slap him around the face as well. Absolutely terrible.
It's very 90s.
This is so 90s. This is like 90s was all about like the bright colors. Like look at Macho Man. I mean, I don't think he ever stopped, but like the tassels around his boots.
Okay, look at Nash. Nash has tassels. The man's 7 foot. He has tassels coming down.
I know, it's kind of like bikerish though, like because that was his previous.
One of the Rock's special, like
Oh my God, The Rock is so funny.
When he buried them all in one night.
Yeah, he literally murdered them.
I mean, it wasn't isolated just there. The one promo on Billy Gunn just completely finished him. Dear God, what's that, Bob? My name's. It doesn't matter what your name is. The entire world thinks that I absolutely suck.
You know what though? Savage's hair was actually still reasonably.
Yeah, by 99 it was.
Yeah, this was like the end of the end though, because it was downhill from here. Look at Nash. Look at him.
We know the feeling, Jack. We know the feeling.
You don't, JJ. You're fine.
Oh, mine is on the way. I'm just styling it out well.
You're styling and profiling.
Yeah.
Just grow it a little longer, so that you have more to work with.
I will shave my head before the end of the year. That's so.
You?
Yeah.
You're there?
As soon as the boy has more hair than me, that's a sign. Just.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming then.
I will have to shave mine before the end of the decade, I believe.
Well, you got some time. We're only
just look at Seb and go, well, at least he's got it now.
Yeah.
Well, Seb has beautiful hair, so
that's not the legacy.
I will never have hair that looks anything as good as that. So
this is fine.
Just take the L.
It's okay, guys. I'll carry us all. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Wonderful hairless.
No worries.
By the way, you missed a wonderful atomic drop from Sting on Scott Hall about 2 minutes ago. And you mean nobody does an atomic drop anymore.
No one does
an atomic drop
anymore. And you know who, like, when Shawn was retiring, I was literally like, this is the last person that still does an atomic drop. No one else.
He would do it on Raw every match. I remember that from that era. Yeah.
Bring it back. Okay. Bring back. Okay, so we need to bring back real finishers. It puts some respect on their name. And number 2, bring back the atomic drop. Is there anything else you guys want to request while we're here?
I mean, I think we should just have someone bring back the atomic drop as their finisher, and it just just no one ever kicks out.
Surely they create like a Russian. Given we've got the threat of the atomic bomb with Russia.
Oh my God!
Surely WWE starts to get fans like a big Russian heel. Who does the atomic drop? Too much.
I mean.
I'm going to watch Richard Maynard talk about it every morning. By the way, Lissy, do you know who Alan Partridge is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who Alan Partridge is?
No.
Right, okay. Think of a guy a bit like Michael Scott, but very British.
Mm-hmm.
There's a TV presenter who's kind of like a mix between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd like him if you ever search for Richard Madeley.
Okay. Text me the name.
JJ,
I mean, I can't stand him, but
no,
I get it from a comedy point of view.
It's like he's a parody.
Yeah, I get it from a comedy point of view.
Like I think he says these things because he knows he's going to trend. But at the same time, is he that bright? It's a tricky one.
This is the repertoire, the follow-away slam. Yes.
Well, the fact that Punk brought something as simple as a body slam back and got it over, like, surely it might be a little bit too. The atomic drop might be a little bit too. What's the word? Simple.
I was going to say a little too
for the viciousness of, I'm thinking like a John Moxley or a Danielson if they're going to go.
Yeah. Look at Savage.
Yeah, that hair's getting a little bit fluffy on the sides, isn't it? we can't all have the same volume as Big Sexy. God love him.
Nash is just laughing at him like, yeah, you look at my hair. You can't come at me with that.
Nash really has the best hair, even till today. Like, he has a beautiful full head of hair.
Yeah.
Hey, that's them stem cells treatments are no joke. I think he flew to like Mexico for them, right?
Yeah.
Tijuana.
Listen,
I preferred it this color than when he went jet black, but I still appreciate it.
Yeah, I like him in a good brown. I actually didn't mind when he just let it go gray too, because I'm a believer in aging gracefully.
Agreed.
So it's probably even more work to like keep up with dyeing it, and then you run the risk of doing the Jericho.
Yeah. like when Edge came back, you know, with the salt and pepper beard. I was like, yeah, okay, this is, you know, you're an older guy. It's fine. You're showing that you've got that experience. Growing up gracefully.
Sorry to actually talk about the match, but Sting with a drop kick to the knee, which again Nash is selling, but Savage is doing such a great job on the apron.
Oh my god!
Constantly encouraging, like getting the crowd like, we have to win this match.
You have to win for WCW.
You have to win.
I love that they really positioned it where it was like as if 2 people or 3 people or even whatever how many people they were eventually going to be, because then the NWO just became too big. But it was like they're going to take the company away from us, and it was like the biggest point of their whatever like internal rivalry.
By the way, I do like the fact, JJ, a point you made last week, you know, about OnlyFans. Tony Storm has made $10,000 in an hour creating her OnlyFans account today, and she's getting a lot of shit for it as well. But me,
you know what?
Make that coin. Make that coin.
No, because honestly, I think let's go back because it's still on brand with our friends Scott Hall.
We're ready for story time with Lissy Almeida, baby.
No, because these guys, oh my God, look at the hand holding, just that little bit of pressure, like the abdominal stretch. Another move that you don't see.
No tag.
You don't see enough of the abdominal stretch. Are you kidding me?
But just the idea of like, I mean, they could easily do an easy tag there, but gotta get that heat, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Brother.
right in the ribs. And then someone so long like Nash could really like hook your leg, like it's like just contorting Sting's body. But anyway, in wrestling, realistically, these people are public figures, and we know that. And at the end of the day, most of them are not walking around rich. So if you're finding a way to supplement your income and make your own money, let her do that.
You got to sell a few wrestling t-shirts, you know what I mean? We're all going to get by.
Yeah, we have to make those coins. These trips to Colombia are not paying for themselves, baby.
Listen, just stand up, show the people let's have a look at what you could have won.
Show the people what we got on today. Where can we find it?
I'll put the link in the bio. Hey. But you're right, people don't, I'll tell you what, people seem, especially with women, there is a massive almost begrudgement. Women who hustle and earn a good living, or women who really find ways to earn a few quid.
But you have to.
I think men out there get really bitter to see some women do well.
No, but you have to, because some men, yes,
that they have a right to women and women's bodies, and they don't feel happy that women are marketing these things, and that men have to pay for things if they want to see things. So,
and you know what?
That seems to me where the anger comes from. They can.
Yeah, and they can suck it because it ain't free anymore, okay? So, Tony Storm, I'm really happy for you for creating your OnlyFans. Anybody else who's a women's wrestler that does it, I agree, because they don't even make nearly as much as they should, or as close to what the men make. And that's just across sports. That's not just in wrestling.
That's life.
And that's in life, okay? So sorry, guys. We don't feel sorry for you.
Fact.
No one's paying to see you guys' exclusive content, and we know why.
I mean, I did start a Patreon, but I don't have any subscribers, so you know. At No Contact Wrestling, if you want to give our brother a donation.
My case.
Is that still alive? I think I was going to start posting all these like memes and stuff, and I was like, it's can't be asked. Like these girls, like they put so much effort into it. Like, all credit to them, because it is a lot of graft.
There is.
It's a skill. Do you know what I mean? It's a skill.
Big sidewalk slam.
No, and bringing it back to what I was talking about with like Hall and Nash, like they did they made a really big change to the pay structure in wrestling, where they're like, till this day, they're like, you guys, if you're a wrestler and you're making any guaranteed money, it's because of us. So you're welcome. So they made, a little bit of waves and controversy when they did that too.
That's kind of, that is kind of a myth. That was the narrative, but the guys on WCW were on guaranteed contracts then, because that was something that Turner implemented when they bought out Jim Cornette. Right. It was more the fact that the WWF had to start doing it as well. Like
That's
they
what
went
I'm
down,
talking
they went
about.
down to Atlanta to get guaranteed, and then WWF to then bring talent in would start paying. I think Brian Pillman got a proper contract. I think he was on $450,000 a year. Then it was more the fact that it was bringing the industry out of the dark ages,
Yes.
being paid on the house.
But Jack, like it just takes one company to do that so that the other companies have to elevate to that structure as well. Like, I mean, realistically, if you're on the road 300 days a year, like these guys were, right, or more, you don't see your family, you don't even know your kids, you miss birthdays, you miss Christmas, you miss whatever. Like, you should be doing it for something that is gonna have some type of
Should be remunerated accordingly, yeah.
yeah, like you should like, and then you could just be thrown out on your ear anytime that that they feel like it. That's not fair. Come on. They don't get health insurance. They have no benefits, nothing. That's why you see a lot of these guys like a few years ago, if you recall, when they were raising money to get Scott Hall, I think it was like a hip or something, because he was in such bad shape. I contributed because obviously we grew up and we love him.
I'd love to track this, but I know it means that we get kicked off straight away.
Here he comes.
Whose side is he on?
Lean. He looks so lean here.
He looks so lean here. It's funny because when you watch like stuff from like the late 80s, early 90s, and you're just like, this, it looks like a whole different Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Who's bad now, boys?
This is great.
Yeah,
I mean, I know what happens, but still good.
Here it is.
Yeah, look how this is like 93 Hogan at this stage.
Yeah. I just it's the cowboy boots for me mostly.
Just Tony Schiavone and Dusty disgusted.
Disgusted. Well, because Hulk is the ultimate
And
good
Bobby's
guy.
like, I've been telling you for 10 years. He's a scumbag.
I love Bobby so much.
Bobby always, and Rudy, it's not Rudy Charles, right? He threw him out the ring, the ultimate act of dishonesty.
Yeah. But also just so appropriate that it's with Savage, because they just have so much history together.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not even acknowledging that 3 count. You disgust me, all of you.
Match over.
I think we forget
We're
how.
just forgetting that the match is on.
Yeah,
It's on past that. Okay.
Well,
Fine.
Savage is out, Sting's out, Luger's in the back. Surely Lex should come out hobbling.
Ref is on the ground.
Ref's gone.
I mean, I like a finish to a match. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know what? All right, TK. I'd love to know, in the record books, what is the actual result?
None. No
I don't
result.
know.
Did you see W win by like DQ? Let me check.
Look at Sting just dragging
The outside
Savage.
defaults were no contest.
No contest. There you go.
But this is a very WCW style ending, and it persisted for a long time. Just like the chaos at the end, where you're just like, what actually happened?
So Savage is being carried out because he got leg dropped twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's his finisher, Jack. Yeah. Make finishers matter again.
Yeah. Especially
all right, EC3, controlling your narrative.
hey,
Hey, by the way, EC3, thanks for following the Flair page in the week. Good man. Look, Gene. There's no
Gene,
man that can sell disgust better than me, Gene. It's like you've upset your granddad now.
But again,
Should we track this?
I can't.
I don't
I can't. Okay. Iconic moments.
Mean Gene was such a big part of Hogan's career, where it's like, you're my guy, you're a good guy. What's happening? The Pythons.
Boo.
Look at all the trash.
Wow. What a heel.
Scott doing the poses.
So look at him. Look at him. He's making a mockery of it. I love it.
Oh, you know something, Mean Gene.
I'm just waiting for Mean Gene to get a leg drop. Come on. Get it done.
I don't see Mean Gene have anyone lay their hands on him, to be fair.
Mean Gene was a gem.
He messes his lineup as well.
What? That sounds iconic to me.
I don't know the out, but he still gets the name wrong later on.
He doesn't know anything. Just leave him alone.
Don't say WWF, we'll get sued. Do not say it.
I feel like he's always a liability to say the wrong thing.
He made people rich up there.
Did.
He definitely did.
I can't stop looking at those cowboy boots now that you mentioned it.
There. Maybe it's just because they're yellow too. It's just a lot, and they have like a little heel on them. It's kind of cute.
Nash has got a freshly waxed chest there as well. That is smooth.
You jealous?
Paul didn't need it. He was still selling
right
them.
now, yeah.
It would hurt. It would hurt.
Ooh. Billionaire Ted.
I'm bored.
He's bored.
They're both like 35 here.
The new blood.
He just like ripped poor Mean Gene.
Reminds
Just
me of the
look
other
at,
week when Adam Cole was like, "Oh, I've got a couple of young guys that are going to join me," and then the gag
Bobby
that
Fish.
it's Bobby Fish at 42.
This man Hall and this man Nash. Boo.
Wow, you can't say that. And he's swearing at them. He's giving them the V. This is
No, we're in America. We're in Daytona Beach. We're not in Derby.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Mean Gene just getting plastered with like soda and everything else. He's so
Poor
bad.
guy.
So cute.
He's going to have to get that tux dry cleaned.
Look at Gene's face when he said you can stick it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I remember watching
the
this.
sales were good that night.
When we were little, I remember watching this and I'm like, what does stick it mean? I have no idea. Why is that bad? My dad was like, don't, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like,
Alexander, go to bed. Hulk Hogan is disgusting.
yeah, that's it.
He's got a fair point, right? Like, probably a good chunk of the people there got interested because they've seen Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
The New World Organization.
So we've got the New Blood, the New World Order, the New World Organization.
He just
Twice, yeah.
Embarrassing.
listen, okay.
Don't touch me. I've got a suit of lawyers. I've got a fleet of lawyers. I don't have one. I've got a fleet of them.
Dean, just get out the ring. Too much rubbish.
Man. I can't imagine wanting to waste a
Hulk
beer on
Hogan,
these guys.
you can go to hell.
We're out of
Last
here.
word.
And that's history
That's that.
made in Daytona Beach.
1996. These were harsh words.
Lissy, how far is Daytona Beach to you? Do you go there regularly?
First of all, I would never go there.
Or is it?
Whoa.
Why is it? Why? What's wrong with Daytona?
Daytona Beach, it's like not my vibe.
Okay, whose vibe is it?
We don't know anything about Daytona Beach. So you
Yeah,
got
I've never heard of the place. I just know that the Daytona 500, right? Like
There
a
you
car
go.
race.
Yeah. Okay, let me just give me a second. Let me just check how far. So it's 245 miles from Miami.
Trek.
That's
Big trek.
probably yeah.
I remember as well, Florida to us, like we have counties which are you can get from one end to the other in like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You
in
forget how
Florida,
big Florida is, yeah.
yeah, so Florida is a really big state, obviously, like from the top, which is like Jacksonville down to Miami, it's 9 hours difference. And then there's the whole other side, which is the Panhandle, which is like the equivalent of like the Deep South. So there's two Floridas. There's the northern part of Florida, and then there's the southern part of Florida. So like Tampa, Orlando, that's where like most of like, that's like a really big area for wrestling down. That's my side. The other side of Florida, we don't need to go there. We pass right through, or we fly.
Oh my
over
God, you're so close. How far is it to the Bahamas? Like an hour?
Oh yeah, right here.
Cuba's like what, 2 hours flight away?
No, people, the refugees take boats. They make boats and they take them from Cuba here. That's how close
You
it
said
is.
that so matter of fact. The refugees take boats.
They are. God bless them.
Wow, you are so close to everything there. Man, life is good if you're listening. Life is not good if you are staying.
You make a big deal about her heading off to Colombia, but it's, I'm sure it doesn't look that far. You know, just fly over Cuba, boom, you're there. All right. Right at the top there.
JJ, I've been to the UK like twice inside 2 years now. This is, I don't go anywhere.
Similar.
I said that, like, I go to Spain every week to play football.
No big deal.
Just a trip into another
A different country, yeah. JJ, what did you think of that match and the storyline then? It's the first time you've seen that properly in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, very, very different to what we looked at in the last episode, right? We looked at an iconic match. This was more about the storyline than the match and the fallout from it. Like I already mentioned, we didn't get a proper finish, anything like that. It went to no contest. Yeah, it's more about the iconic moment and everything that came out the back of that. And it was a huge iconic moment until it descended into madness. But yeah, very, very different kind of thing, but still very enjoyable.
But it shows, I suppose, the range of the character. He's able to go from very, we saw the vignette at the start, the very Hispanic, if you want to use that term, being in Miami and being almost like gangster type to here. He's a bit more humanized, is that the term? And they've come for a takeover. He wrestled quite well. See the atomic drop, man. That brought back memories. Yeah, I was thinking the 90s, some of the 90s were great. Lissy, that brought back all the feels?
All the feels, all the, the nostalgia, all that. Rest in peace, Hulkamania, because that was the end of Hulkamania.
Got to hell, Hulk.
But like you said, we didn't watch this match particularly for the wrestling, but it's more for, again, that pivotal point in WCW where the NWO is formed. Hogan's the third man. And I think it was really nice for Hulk to say, last week that he's like, my career was like dying. Hulkamania was whatever it was. And Scott helped me to resurrect myself and resurrect my career. And I think it shows that he was doing things that were for people that already had developed characters, right? Whereas in our last episode, you're talking about how he put over Sean Waltman as the 1, 2, 3 kid, where you're just like, this kid could never beat him, So just his influence on people in many different phases of their career and how, he contributed to the business in that way too.
Yeah.
Do you think there is anyone that could make that type of impact moving across again? Like Jericho was quite a big coup for AEW, in 2018. Cody has apparently signed with WWE. Do you think there is anyone, even him, that could make the type of impact that we saw here from that man Hall and that man Nash, as me and Gene put it, in 96?
No, it would have to be like the equivalent of this is if like someone like a John Cena went to AEW. That's all I could see. Cody coming back or Cody leaving or whatever, it doesn't have that same mark in the business that this sort of event did.
The other thing is as well, like, we know so much now, don't we? Like, before Cody's arrived in WWE, if he arrives, we've seen all of the news for the last month. Feel like we know everything that's going to happen. Whereas when this was happening, it was like it felt like there was a real sort of invasion or something like that. That's why it had such an impact. So
That's
It's just
true.
a different time.
We were learning in real time at that time, right? Where
Yeah.
even if you have like a couple of different wrestling magazines or whatever, but like they posted stuff on a monthly subscription basis, and everything that you were reading was probably not new. So we're in such a spoiled time. We have too much access to everything. So you have to keep that. I'm interested to see how like the future of wrestling is going to look, because at least we grew up where like the first half of our lives, like we didn't have that much access. We didn't know so much about wrestlers and how they have a personal life and stuff like that. So I think we still look at it with that same respect, even though we have access now.
Kayfabe, brother.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's we had like almost sheltered. There was an air of innocence still about this time where you've seen Hall and Nash turn up on a few nitros, and then oh my god, they've got Hogan to their mate. Is this? There was no way of saying, are they actually friends behind the scenes? He signed a 3-year deal with an option of a 4th year? Like, oh my god, there's none of that stuff. It was just, I can't wait to see what happens on Nitro now.
Right, you're dying for tomorrow at this point. It was
a simpler time, but that was 26 years ago, and I doubt they could have pulled that angle off without Scott Hall joining alongside Kevin Nash, who I think Scott Hall led it, and then Big Sexy joined him 4 weeks later. So probably still the most iconic heel turn of all time, and one of the most iconic angles of all time. So thanks to Hall and Nash teaming with Hogan. That's been Bash at the Beach 96. We're going to have one more of the little Scott Hall tribute. We're going to be back for episode 3 where we look at Goldberg against Hall. What pay-per-view?
WCW sold out 1999, yeah.
Which would be a month after Goldberg has just been screwed out of the title by Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
And another famous storyline where, again, the bad guy, Brucey, is just that. From Lissy, Jack, and John, we'll see you for episode 3 very soon.